My name is Clive Bright. I am farming in just outside Ballymote in South Sligo. It's a family farm I took over about 15, could be more, 18 years ago. I inherited from my mum, and I converted it to an organic farm at that stage. The farm is it's basically a glacial drumlin landscape. So when the ice age finished, the glacier just dumped everything it had dragged along the ground. So there's a real mixture of geology within the soil. Like every field has 3 or 4 different soil types. We have a turla on the back end of the farm, and that's basically complete sand, but it's below the water table in winter, so it floods in winter and then it just drops all the water as soon as the water table drops, and it makes beautiful hay. It's my best hay field. So it's a real interesting mixture and real diverse kind of ecology within all those areas too. It's a beef suckler farm, so we have kind of traditional breeds of cows, and we bring their progeny onto beef, direct sell the beef. And the whole farm is it's organic, and it's all the beef is fattened on 100% grass-fed diet, so we don't feed any meal or concentrates at all. The key element to the success of that is a kind of grazing method called holistic planned grazing or mob grazing. And so we move the animals in a rotational, twice daily moves basically, so they get fresh grass twice a day, and that does a couple of things. It makes sure their diet is always fresh and clean. It also gives the grass a big recovery period, so it's really good for the grass and the soil, because everything gets to kind of function and live out its own vigour. So we just moved the cows in here. They have a small little strip there, and they'll be in there for a couple of hours, and then we'll move them to their night time. They'll get another section slightly bigger than this for the night. They also have access down into those trees when they figure it out. The grass under those trees grows really well, and the initial reason I planted those is that area of the field was so wet you couldn't drive into it or anything, even to mow it, to top the rushes or any of that. So I just took it out of the field and I planted it in trees as a shelter belt, because there's quite a severe wind that comes this way, and completely transformed the soil underneath. All the rushes are gone from underneath the tree, and about maybe 5 or 6 meters out from the tree line. They're just all gone. The soil functions completely well underneath it. There's grass there first thing in February and right through till Christmas, and there's only a small area, as you can see, but we put the cows in there maybe 4 times a year just for a few hours, and it's only a demonstration of it actually working, but that's given me the confidence to plant trees in that way throughout the whole farm. So we aim to graze the grass at about that height, and it's not an ideal species here, but it's at kind of 4-leaf stage. So, and that plant then is fully recovered at 4 leaves, so it's put nutrients down into its soil or into its root, so that if it's grazed again, it'll recover really quickly. And we'll aim just to probably graze off about that much of the plant and leave the rest, and they'll trample a good amount of it, and they'll leave a good amount of leaf there for a quick recovery again. So we'll probably get round on this field again later on in the season. So we're at July now, so it'll be probably 60 days and we'll be back in here again. So apart from the recovered grass, the other main monitor for making sure we're doing things pretty well is that the cattle remain fat. They shed down early, so they lose their winter coat as early as possible in season. That gives a fair indication that the mineral content in their feed is high enough that they're basically getting an energy-rich diet. When we move them every day, I try and stand on the left side of them as they're moving through the gate, and there's actually a triangle in front of their hip bone where their rumen is, and if that's full, they've had enough to eat in their previous paddock. So when we move them to a new paddock, we're aiming that they'll have that full before they come into that paddock, so they're never wanting for food, and that way you'll put on enough condition on a solely grass-fed diet. So this is my first deliberate silvopasture kind of establishment. I thrashed around with a lot of ideas to implement it. What I've gone for is this 3 metre wide strip, and I've just fenced it out from the pasture, and I have another one over there and another one along the edge. So this field in 60 to 80 years time will just have there'll be 6 oaks up there, there'll be 5 I think in that row, and some, another row the whole way along the edge there as well. Another drawback to putting in systems like this is you actually get penalised from your cap payments, because once you fence out an area to plant trees in, it's designated as scrub, and then you lose your payment on that. But I'm certainly willing to take that hit, because I really feel that the benefit of putting tree systems in like this is going to far outweigh any financial benefit I get from a cap payment. Basically, my nature hack is to plant more trees in a kind of planned and managed way, and that's it, and everything else follows.